we're going to get started. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Youth AI Talk, and thank you for joining us and learning AI together with us. I know it's finals week for a lot of schools, so we really appreciate that you're still attending our talks and your willingness to really learn a lot about AI. So to recap, last week, Professor Moshwardi gave an enlightening talk on the interrelationship between humans, machines, and work. He discussed tech history and politics, and how to intersect when it comes to AI and work, inspiring the audience to take social responsibility. You are welcome to watch Professor Vardi's talk and all Youth AI's previous talks at our YouTube channel. On November 21st, we will host business professor Dr. Olaf Groth. His talk will focus on data, the new oil in the age of AI. On December 13th, Chief AI Officer of Citadel, Dr. Li Deng, will talk about speech AI and finance AI. You are welcome to visit our Eventbrite links for more details and join these insightful talks. I would also like to mention that we will start to offer free machine learning training starting the week of November 1st. Please sign up at our Youth AI website as a member to receive details about these events. I'm now turning it over to my co-host, Clarice Huang.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Hi, everyone. My name is Clarice Huang, and I am a high school junior attending the Harker School in the Bay Area, California. Like Jeffrey said, I will be the co-host for today's event. Also, if you're hoping to keep up to date with upcoming events and information, please go follow our social media at the links that we will put in the chat. I think Jeffrey will be putting that in the chat. The next slide. Yes, before introducing Dr. Huang, I'd like to briefly go over the logistics of the talk. Because we have audience members watching from our YouTube live stream, we'll be doing the question and answer portion through a platform called Slido. So please either go to the URL we've provided in the chat or go to Slido, which is sli.do, and enter event code 5933. Feel free to submit questions throughout the talk, but we'll only be answering questions in the Q&A session at the end of Dr. Huang's talk. Now, let me introduce today's speaker, Dr. Xuedong Huang. We are very grateful to have him here today to share Microsoft's AI journey to help everyone in every organization on the planet to achieve more and communicate better. A little bit more about Dr. Huang. Dr. Huang is a Microsoft Technical Fellow and Chief Technology Officer overseeing Azure AI Cognitive Services engineering and research, covering Microsoft's core perceptive and cognitive AI pillars. He helps to bring the dream of making machines see, hear, speak, and understand human beings in a reality with his passion for technology, innovation, and social responsibility. Dr. Huang has co-authored over 170 US patents, 2 books, and over 100 papers. He was recognized as an IEEE Fellow and ACM Fellow for his contributions to spoken language processing. In 2016, Wired magazine named him one of 25 geniuses who are creating the future of business. Let's welcome Dr. Huang.
All right, thank you for the introduction. Can I switch to my slide, or you are going to switch? I should switch, right?
Yeah, feel free to switch now.
All right, okay, share screen. Can everyone see the slide? All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to just talk about the most exciting things today is how we can really making AI real for everyone, every organization, so we can help them to achieve more. So I'm very happy to be here to be with young people. You're the future, and by the time you graduate from college, I think AI hopefully will advance further, and you'll have very good early start. I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint. The captioning is live, powered by Azure AI. So as you can see, I have some accent, so it's never going to be perfect, but hey, you see this whole thing can be translated into many other languages. So if you do not understand English, there's no problem. I can translate this into Turkish in case, or Hindi, if you want to. You want me to try that? So you don't get distracted. Anyone can have, one of the languages you prefer. And so the way to do that is fairly simple. It's one of the features in a PowerPoint. Before I start, I really want just to start, ask everyone to think and pause. Your mom or dad must have told you a lot of stories, bedtime stories, right? And in the school, you learn to read, you learn to accumulate knowledge. So how we learn to read is actually very, very insightful. That is really, how people grow. Computers are similar. When people learn, you actually use all the sensors. You open your eyes, you are listening, you ground that with knowledge you are familiar with. And that is actually how you acquire knowledge. And the language is indeed really the differentiation. That is why we're different on the planet. And because of the language, we can organize everyone to actually come here to have this session. For monkey or chimpanzee, they can take action on what they see. Their eyes could be as powerful as humans. Some of the animals, they could even see stuff better, even in the dark light. And many animals can run faster, better, with more muscle than humans. Why is human the master of this planet? Because we have the ability to communicate, to acquire knowledge, and to pass knowledge from one generation to another. So language is really the crown jewel of intelligence. There was actually a very recent neuroscience report. It's amazing. They have identified that how we store memories is the cornerstone of human intelligence. In a different manner from the old traditional way, we had the memory separation partition. And the latest research from neuroscience is indicating that we humans could have a similar amount of neurons like a chimpanzee. So it's not really the size of the brain. It's really how we store the information. We actually use the shared joint neurons for different tasks, whether it's the sensory, vision, or different domains. That's very different from the previous theory that got the separation of the task. Because of that joint shared neurons, we got the ability to abstract, to connect dots, and generalize. That's really the high level of intelligence, set us apart from other animals. So one of the key points I want to make here is really how we learn to read is very insightful. You guys are still learning to read. Great. Think about how you can translate that into computers to help AI to be as effective, more human-like as we acquire knowledge and being most intelligent in our journey of learning. So this is really the key point I want to make. We use all the sensory and the perception capability to learn, which we just do not simply read text and without grounding that to the real world with computer vision, with audio, with what we see, what we hear. And that process is super important to build AI that's more human-like. So we need a holistic representation. This was also one of the breakthrough on the human intelligence from neuroscience point of view. How we store memory and that representation is really, really important. So Microsoft's mission of AI is really trying to extend human capability. We have our eyes, our ears, we can speak, we can learn, and it's just amazing how capable we are. So our goal is really find a way to extend the human capability using computer software. This is actually really the key things I want to emphasize. By modeling human capability, make a computer speak, learn, see, hear, we are able to really help people to achieve more. So in that journey, we really help to achieve a number of very, very important historical milestones. So since 2016, Microsoft was the first company reached the object recognition on the ImageNet research benchmark with the ResNet that is being broadly used. All right, so I was talking about in our journey to help to extend the human capability, Microsoft pioneered a lot of research breakthrough. In the computer vision, we were the first reaching human parity on the ImageNet object recognition. And in 2017, and the most famous switchboard conversational task, Microsoft once again was the first company reaching human parity in transcribing conversational speech. And most recently, on the image captioning, on the Facebook sponsored the new novel object detection and recognition with captioning, we reached the human parity again. We not only reached human parity on that no caps image captioning, we also delivered the same service on Azure Cognitive Services that people can start using. So it's just phenomenal. The breakthrough from research to production, they are available. So on the Azure Cognitive Services today, most of those breakthroughs got translated into product and services I will talk about. So this is really a journey. The recognition from speech translation and image captioning and object detection, etc. They're all super, super hard. And I'm really, when I was a graduate student, I couldn't actually imagine we could reach this level of breakthrough. So in that 30-year journey, it's just phenomenal to see how AI has advanced. And not only actually reach that human parity, now it's also in the cloud in real time. As you can see, even with my Chinese accent, and the captioning is actually happening in a reasonable fashion. That can really help people to remove language barriers. So if you're going to say, give a talk in, let's say, India, and you want your caption to be in Hindi, that's not a problem. You go to PowerPoint, you say, I speak English, I translate everything into Hindi, ready to go. I actually want to do the demo. See if I can do this. Let me see. So I can go to the review slideshow. Somehow I cannot change that. That's fine. What is you see from the screen? So can you see the slide here?
Yes, we see the slide.
Yeah, good. So you can see the subtitle is English. I can change that to just for the fun to Arabic. And
You have to give me a
what?
a description of this sign so that I can confirm with you, because I'm not sure what sign you're talking about.
I cannot hear you. Is okay? I will start. So if I speak in English, the caption will be in Arabic. It's live translation. It's actually very beautiful. And we normally write from left to right. Arabic is from right to left. And I hope we have some audience who can really understand Arabic. And I do not understand Arabic. I think it's probably better for me just to write a caption in Chinese. And I will do Chinese, okay? So I know what I'm talking about is accurate or not. So now my speech is being translated into Chinese. Okay? So this is really one example of all those AI breakthrough, how data is being used in Microsoft products for every user in the world, whether you speak the language or not. I know it's not perfect, but this is actually really advancing month by month. Performance is getting better and better. So Microsoft AI, we have basically 4 major pillars. From perceptive AI to cognitive AI, really they covered, both. On the perceptive AI, we have speech services, we have computer vision services. On the speech services, we have both speech recognition and the text-to-speech. On the computer vision, we have facial recognition, we have image captioning, we have object detection, we have video analytics. Computer language is very, very, very diverse. That varies from translation to named entity recognition, intent understanding, text analytics to question answering. On the decision AI, we have more business-oriented, like anomaly detection and personalization and metrics advisor. So this is a really broad view of how Microsoft is addressing the AI to help everyone and every organization achieving more. So I want to drill down a little bit, talk about how those 4 pillars are being utilized in practice. Okay, the first one is the speech. And the services is just amazing. This is actually an example, experimental hardware. It has amazing capability with both eyes and ears built in. Most of you are familiar with the smart speakers, right? This is the one that got both the camera on the top with a 360-degree camera that can see everyone in the room. So when you have multiple people in the room, people sometimes talk across each other. So this system can really not only transcribe everyone, but also know who said what. And most of the speaker today requires you to have a wake-up word to say, hey, Cortana or Alexa or OK Google. Then you issue one command. And this one actually really can transcribe multiple people in the room. That's a research prototype we demonstrated. I want to share with you the video.
Hello, Ashley. Hello, Matt.
You can hear the audio, right?
Hello, Charnching.
Yes.
Hello, Rana. Hello, Rana. Would you like to start the meeting?
Yes, please. It identified my teammates as expected meeting attendees and asked me, the meeting organizer, if I wanted to get started. So let's get going. Chongqing, I know you have to head to the airport soon, but do you have time for a few questions?
我还有几分钟，你们有什么问题，我一定尽力回答。
Okay, perfect. So we discussed the new firmware yesterday. Do we know when we will receive it?
昨天我已经和我们的技术团队讨论过，他们应该下周末之前可以给你。
Oh, that's great.
And I'm getting good movement and temperature data from the discrete sensors, but I need to keep installation costs down. Do you know when we'll have more inventory of the multi-sensors?
大概20天吧，很大一批货已经从上海的仓库运出来了。
Great, I'll follow up next month.
好的，我要走了，希望我回答了你们所有的问题。
You did. Thank you. Have a safe flight back to Shanghai.
再见。
You know, on an unrelated note, I really think we should start to take a look at some construction site pilots. In fact, I think we should redo our demo showcase to highlight more end-to-end scenarios.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Matt, but I think we should focus on our existing Showcase 4 format and just bring in more of the manufacturers. I know we have enough of the Yanzi Motion Plus multi-sensors, but what about the Yanzi Gateway and the Regado 500 IoT Gateway to light up those additional scenarios? What do you think?
That makes sense. I'll take the action item to follow up on that, and then I'll add some data to our Teams channel later today.
Perfect. Everything we've discussed since the meeting started has now been neatly captured as a transcript on the left, and a summary of all of our meeting items now appear on the right. And even though we were interrupting each other and speaking in jargon, the AI services could still accurately transcribe our conversation and identify who was speaking. And our teammate can even speak in her native language, Chinese, and see a real-time translation of the meeting right on her laptop.
Okay, so that's the first demo I want to show off. That is really the capability on Azure Cognitive Services. People can start using the services to create, different solutions to remove language barriers, to make this world a better place. We want to really achieve that goal to help everyone to communicate better without the language barriers.
Now, it's a pleasure to be here in Las Vegas.
So the next demo is really with a HoloLens. You can bridge the gap of space, also bridge the gap of language. What is even more important, you can really have a mini avatar of yourself and speak different language. By the way, how many languages can you speak? I bet most of you can speak probably like 3 or 4. But with Microsoft AI, you can speak 80 languages easily. So this is the demo for Julia White to speak Japanese in her own style, own tone, as if she can speak Japanese. Actually, she doesn't, but this was powered by Azure AI.
To present to you. Now, I get invited to do keynotes across the globe. And while it's easy for me to be here in Las Vegas, it isn't always easy for me to travel across the world. And even when I do, I can't always speak the local language. Well, what if neither language nor distance mattered for me to deliver a fantastic keynote? What if technology could help me be anywhere I needed to be and speak any language I wanted? Well, it can. We are bringing together the power of mixed reality and Azure AI services to create a truly game-changing experience. What you're about to see is an exact hologram of me wearing the same outfit that we recently captured at a mixed reality studio. And I don't speak Japanese, but what if I wanted to deliver my keynote in Japanese? Using Azure AI technology, I can translate my English into Japanese and train it to sound exactly like me, the same voice tones, those same inflections. Now, we brought this together, my hologram and Azure AI, to show you what's possible. So first, I'm going to put on my HoloLens 2 here, and then we'll flip in the room to the special camera so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Let's get started. First, let me introduce you to Mini-Me. There she is, my perfect holograph. And thanks to the power of HoloLens 2, she just floats right with me. I'm literally holding my hologram, so natural. Now she's a little small to do a keynote. So let's get her up so she can do full-size Japanese keynote. Render keynote.
ホログラムになることには本当に驚くべきことがあります。私たちは最新の複合現実キャプチャ技術を使用し、私のホログラムを作成しています。実在の人物をホログラムとして見たことがあるかもしれませんが、私が実際に日本語を話しているのが新しいのです。私は日本語を話しませんが、私の声とホログラムは完璧な日本語で話しています。これはニューラルテキスト読み上げと呼ばれる最新の人工知能技術、いわゆるニューラル TTS を使用しています。私たちは自分の声の録音を使用し、私のように聞こえる私自身の個人的な音声署名を作成します。日本語からフランス語、ポルトガル語まで話せます。今、この技術は私たちが働き、遊び、生活する方法に関して、世界中の国境や障壁を取り除くことができると想像してみてください。まさに SF が現実になるところです。
You can see, this is mind-blowing technology. And what you just saw was my life-size hologram, my exact replica, rendered here in real time, speaking Japanese with my unique voice signature. To do this, we use mixed reality technology to create my hologram and render it here live. Then we use Azure's speech-to-text capability and English transcription to get my speech. Then use Azure Translate to get the speech into Japanese, and finally applied neural text-to-speech technology so it sounded exactly like me, just speaking Japanese. And the most amazing part? All of these technologies exist today. The future is here.
So that was real. By the way, how do you know what you see is actually me or not my hologram? Well, that is the danger of the future. And I could have just typed in everything here, and I don't need to speak at all. My neural voice can be synthesized just like me. So I will stop here on the speech pillar. It's just phenomenal. Now I want to talk a little bit about the computer vision. So as I said, Microsoft reached another human parity on computer vision. And this is really amazing on image captioning. This service is available on Azure Cloud that you can try. So there are a few examples, with our previous. By the way, can you see the caption or the image is blocking?
We can see the captions. Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, I can see some things.
I see something. I'll move to this side. How's that?
I mean, I see a tennis ball.
That's good.
And at the bottom, I see.
This is what computer see the photo. The Azure Cognitive Services computer vision image captioning will actually, have the caption automatically generated. A tennis ball on a racket. Before we modernized this with the human parity level captioning, our previous system was like a close-up of a ball. Our best competitor, you can probably guess who this is, also did a good job, but it wasn't as descriptive as this one. So let me show you a few more examples. So our previous system was a woman looking at the camera. Not accurate, not wrong. It's just not as descriptive as the new modern one is providing the caption. It's a woman wearing a stethoscope around her neck, very detailed. And our competitors also did a good job. Two people. Actually, if you really want to be picky, there are more than 2 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, right? So more example, and our new captioning is a field of wheat, and our competitor is plant. Nothing wrong. It's not as descriptive. Once again, the new captioning is a person drawing on a chalkboard. And on this one, our competitor really screwed up, had the wrong result. That's actually a very interesting one. The competitor thought this is a lamp on a tripod. So that's really off. And the old one was a yellow sunset. Didn't really talk about the satellite dish, but you can see the human parity breakthrough really lifted this image captioning to a new level. But when you test this in the wild, even humans could make a mistake. So nothing is always perfect. This is the photo of China's Tsinghua University. This is a very traditional building with a very red door in the, with that reflection of the light. Our system thought that this was old system thought this was a building on fire. A new system improved somewhat, but it's still wrong. It's a building with a fire in the middle. So even with a very improved AI, sometimes they are making very funny, silly mistakes. So you can actually install Microsoft Seeing AI on iPhone. This was designed to help blind people. So if you point the picture to anything, for example, you point the phone to this girl, you will hear the voice just telling you, I think it's a young girl throwing an orange frisbee. Let me show you the video how Microsoft achieved this to help people with accessibility challenges.
I'm Saqib Sheikh. I lost my sight when I was 7, and
can you something?
Shortly after that, I went to a school for the blind, and that's where I was introduced to talking computers, and that really opened up a whole new world of opportunities. I joined Microsoft 10 years ago as a software engineer. I love making things which improve people's lives, and one of the things I've always dreamt of since I was at university was this idea of something that could tell you at any moment what's going on around you.
I think it's a man jumping in the air doing a trick on a skateboard.
I teamed up with like-minded engineers to make an app which lets you know who and what is around you. It's based on top of the Microsoft Intelligence APIs, which makes it so much easier to make this kind of thing. The app runs on smartphones, but also on the Pivot Head smart glasses. When you're talking to a bigger group, sometimes you can talk and there's no response, and you think, is everyone listening really well, or are they half asleep? And you never know.
I see two faces, 40-year-old man with a beard looking surprised, 20-year-old woman looking happy.
The app can describe the general age and gender of the people around me and what their emotions are, which is incredible. One of the things that's most useful about the app is the ability to read out text.
Hello, good afternoon. Here's your menu.
Great, thank you. I can use the app on my phone to take a picture of the menu, and it's going to guide me on how to take that correct photo.
Move camera to the bottom right and away from the document.
And then it'll recognize the text. Read me the headings.
I see appetizers, salads, paninis, pizzas, pastas.
Years ago, this was science fiction. I never thought it would be something that you could actually do, but artificial intelligence is improving at an ever faster rate, and I'm really excited to see where we can take this. As engineers, we're always standing on the shoulders of giants, building on top of what went before. And in this case, we've taken years of research from Microsoft Research to pull this off.
I think it's a young girl throwing an orange frisbee in the park.
For me, it's about taking that far-off dream and building it one step at a time. I think this is just the beginning.
So this is the app, Seeing AI on iPhone. You can actually install. If you're not blind, probably it's not that interesting, but you can definitely, point this app to anything. See how Azure Cognitive Services is trying to do the image captioning. Microsoft is also very, very sensitive to the pandemic. This is really a space analysis services that is available on Azure that can really help company dealing with social distancing, mask wearing, etc. You can see when people enter the building, whether they have a mask or not, we can actually really, tell with a camera placed in the building. So you can actually really offer a lot of services for the, on the distance, or whether they have mask. People without mask is red, people with mask is green. Okay. Now we have like 20 minutes left. Let me talk about the natural language and translation services. So the most interesting challenge is the European Union Parliament. I don't know if you know, there are 24 official languages spoken in the European Union. In the European Parliament, the debate could include the 24 languages. So the European Union Parliament has been evaluating international systems for a year. So in the first phase, they selected 3 companies to enter the next phase. Microsoft Azure AI is one of the 3 companies selected. The only non-European company the European Parliament selected to continue the second phase. Also, the quality based on their evaluation on the first stage was on English, French, German translation live in the Parliament. Microsoft Azure AI also had the highest quality. So let me share with you the demo.
Frau Präsidentin, liebe Kollegen, liebe Kolleginnen, ich möchte meinen ganz herzlichen Dank an die Berichterstatterin Katrin Styler aussprechen, die in diesem hochtechnischen Bereich eine sehr wichtige Arbeit gemacht hat. Denn es ist nicht nur ein technischer Bericht, es ist auch ein hochpolitischer Bericht, den wir vor uns liegen haben, in dem hohe politische Standards auch respektiert werden mussten. Es ging darum, die Belange der Wirtschaft, der Sicherheit, des Arbeitsschutzes miteinander in Einklang zu bringen. Und es ist ihr aus Sicht des Europäischen Parlaments und der Sozialdemokraten und Sozialdemokratinnen hervorragend gelungen.
Thank you, President. Well, some colleagues took the initiative of putting in the agenda an urgency resolution on Brazil's refusal to extradite Cesare Battisti to Italy. I do understand their motives, but as I shall demonstrate, this is not a present human rights case, it is not an urgent case, and it is not even a breach of the rule of law case. Furthermore, it comes at a terrible moment when Brazil is facing the worst natural disaster in its history. Cesare Battisti is in prison, he is waiting for a decision of the Brazil Supreme Court.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je siège dans cet hémicycle depuis 1999 et en 20 ans, on ne peut pas dire que le cadre européen sur les perturbateurs endocriniens ait évolué. Quand la science, elle a changé. Des chercheurs ont révélé leur impact sur la santé humaine, sur la santé animale, le lien avec certaines maladies chroniques, en particulier certains cancers, l'infertilité, certains troubles du développement neurologique. Ce lien est avéré. L'Union européenne ne semble pas avoir pris la mesure de ce que l'OMS qualifiait en 2013 déjà de menace mondiale. Nous sommes très en retard.
So that is really a quick introduction and demo on what we have been doing. I want to close this with about the responsible AI initiative Microsoft had. We really take AI very seriously. So we approach this with a set of principles such as fairness, reliability, safety, privacy, inclusiveness, accountability, and the transparency. So we actually we are taking a tremendous amount of efforts to address some of the challenges I want to talk about. New York Times reported 2 incidences. One was from Stanford bias study on speech recognition. The other one was from MIT on the facial recognition. As you can see on this chart, the curve here is for the African American. Here is for the white. The error rate between the white and the black has been substantial. So they evaluated with the leading companies in the US from Apple, IBM, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Even though Microsoft had the lowest error rate, we feel that we have to work harder to close that gap, even though the gap is actually also the smallest. On the face, it's very similar. They evaluated the Face++ is a Chinese company, Microsoft and IBM. Once again, Microsoft had the lowest error rate, but the gap between dark-skinned people versus lighter-skinned people has been there. So we are really taking those challenges very seriously to make sure that AI can work well across a wide set of scenario reliably, regardless of the gender, race, and age. So AI for Good is also a very serious Microsoft initiative. As you can see, we did AI for the blind people, accessibility. We also have this program to preserve the cultural heritage and help the earth.
Like never before, our world is changing. Faced with some of our most critical challenges, human ingenuity triumphs. Today, the Microsoft AI for Good initiative enables a person with an idea to accelerate it, to give it scale, to create change for the better.
Microsoft AI will help our work by empowering people to take action.
Through AI for Earth, photos can now help save a species. With AI for accessibility, the visual world becomes an audible experience.
Sanitarium peanut butter.
And with AI for humanitarian action, first responders can target their efforts faster than ever before.
It feels humbling to know that I'm actually helping another human being.
Today, we are empowering others to forge new paths, to fight famine before a crisis strikes, and protect ecosystems by identifying forests down to a single tree.
We have the forest that we have today. We can't change that. What we can change is the future.
Microsoft AI is fueling some of the most passionate and creative people on our planet with the help of citizen scientists to make change, once thought impossible, real.
AI will know and understand and model based on the child interaction.
AI unleashes new possibilities to impact our world. And together, we're not just dreaming it, we're doing it.
So I know some of the young people ask about the career advice. I want to share a few leadership principles Microsoft has. And Microsoft, we really care about those 3 key attributes. We want to create clarity, no matter what you do, clarity is important. So the ability to really synthesize from the complex environment, complex problem, simplify that with clarity is really a leadership skill that super important, whether you work on AI or not. Then the second one is really, you need to be passionate and to generate energy, the ability to inspire optimism. push creativity and the drive for growth is super important. With that clarity and the energy, of course, we look for success, whether it's innovation or move beyond the boundary or be tenacious, pursue this the right outcome. Those are the three sets of principles we value tremendously. So whether you are going to stay in the AI or beyond, those are really the common things that I think will be super, super useful. In terms of hiring people, and I personally look at those three things. I think the first one is really, you should have the right attitude with passion and curiosity. That is really the drive to actually almost solving all the problem. Practically, a strong mathematics proficiency is also important for the field of AI. Without math, there's no foundation. So that's the foundational skill. And with math and attitude, if you do not know how to program, you don't know how to deal with systems, that's insufficient, because AI today is really a massive scale system engineering with bigger computing, bigger data, and the deep learning algorithm. We can really put everything together. So those are the three things we look at in terms of nurture our young talents. So if you have opportunity in the college or even in the high school, think about those three things would be actually very, very helpful. So I will just stop here and let's see, my time is, we have 10 minutes for question. Oh, by the way, there's also a very good book called The Loom Shots. This one really matches my personal leadership philosophy. And the author articulated it better than what I can articulate here. So if you want to really read some books, this is the one that would, be very, very helpful, whether you do AI or not. So I'll stop here and let's have 10 minutes Q&A. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Huang. I think in the interest of getting through as many questions as we can, I think we're still going to try to ask questions through Slido, just because that way I think it's easier for the audience to vote on questions and just avoid these sorts of duplicates. So if you have any questions, feel free to.
You will actually repeat the question, right? I will answer, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
For the doctor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just wondering. I'm Julia. I'm going to actually be joining your team on the vision portion of your team next year, and so I'm really curious about where you think you're hoping to take the team in terms of the vision segment, moving on forth from the image captioning and sort of the social distancing kind of stuff. Super curious to hear where you think the team will go.
The vision is actually very diverse, and you can have facial recognition like Windows Hello, to log into Windows. That's actually powered by vision, right? Image captioning, helping people with accessibility challenge, and that is powered by vision. We have form OCR recognition dealing with document, and that is actually powered by vision. We also have video analytics, and this is powered by vision. So for social distancing and the reopening of the economy, I think this what we demonstrated, it was very helpful, because the reinforcing the policy is actually very challenging. So we would love to see, we have AI to really watch what is going on 24/7. So to remind the people and with the right behavior. Some people are actually, can be educated with the reminder. If you can see, hey, you're walking into the store, you forgot the mask, and there's a reminder, that would be very helpful. So actually it's very broad.
Gotcha, yeah, that's really interesting work, very impactful, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Huang.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for the speech. I have a question. So my sons are in high school, and they're pretty good at math, and they already learned calculus, and they learned programming, and also very interesting in AI. What is a suggestion to go further on their interest, or would Microsoft have some opportunities for them to explore with their interest and yeah, thank you.
So I think that, we have actually Azure machine learning as a tool that is available for most people. If you want just, say you want to use the tool to create your own solution, Azure ML is available. If you want to say you don't know how to actually create a speech recognition system or computer vision system, you want to use, the cognitive services to build intelligent application, we have the REST API available. So that's very easy to do. You can just, leverage what Microsoft has across 4 pillars. So those are the 2 options. I would encourage you just go to Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services, and you can really create some intelligent application. We want to create this ecosystem, very similar to like, when Windows was popular, actually a strong ecosystem using Win32 API. Now this Azure Cognitive Services API, they're broadly available, whether it's a speech recognition, synthesis, computer vision, facial recognition, OCR, or form recognition, or translation. You can just create an amazing amount of new services. You could even have your own startup. That the last mile using Azure AI is going to be super important.
Thank you. And is that a language specific you recommend, like a Python or Java or?
And REST API is open to almost everything. Python is typically what people are using. JavaScript, Java, that's fine. It's a REST API. It's all in the cloud. You just need to send data to the cloud and process them.
Okay.
And those are
thank you
5 options. So that's the way to learn AI is start using it. Now you understand the challenge, what it is good, what is not good, how you can improve it. Then you can actually you make your own solution. So Microsoft offers both cognitive services that are available. I'm sorry, disrupted.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. Is there any like a competition or similar like for high schoolers or universities?
We do not organize competition. We focus on help everyone, every organization take advantage of it. And so there are lots of startups using our AI to create a new application, new services. That's probably a very powerful way to learn how to engage.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So I think the first question is just, do you have any tips for high school students who are interested in a career in AI?
Well, I do not know the specific high school projects, and because we're not an education organization. Definitely the Azure ML cognitive services are open to everyone. So that is what I can tell you, encourage you to really look at those options. You don't need to really have deep learning knowledge to make use of AI. And those are very powerful REST API, with a few lines of code. They are sample code on the website. The way to learn AI, I would say, is really start using it, understand the limitation. That's actually my advice. You might actually be drop out from Stanford, and if you actually start early, just look at the amazing number of companies they created from Stanford, from drop out, like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they all drop out, didn't graduate from Harvard, right? Stanford, the same story. So get your hands dirty and really be hands-on, playing with what we have with the state of the art. You actually have a better understanding by the time you need to get back to the deep learning model, trying to understand how to improve.
All right. And then I think right in the chat, there's some people asking follow-ups about whether Microsoft open sources these, or what's the easiest way to start building applications using these sorts of APIs.
API is not open source. API is actually cloud-based services, and it's actually fee-based services. And they are open source tools available, but that's actually, really not designed for high school. Yeah.
I think
where, the Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services, they offer a free tier. So if you are just trying to learn what it is, every month you can have a certain amount of usage. They're all free. But the way we create a model, we open source some of the models, some of the code. The whole stack for Azure Cognitive Services is cloud-based services. The code is not public.
Okay. I think the next question that a lot of audience members have been wondering is, currently AI and machine learning require a lot of training examples to obviously learn, which is very different from humans, which can kind of extrapolate these trends after only a few training examples. So what's Microsoft been doing to try to close this discrepancy? And what do you think are potential future improvements in this direction?
So it is true, the industrial deep learning is very expensive. If you look at the OpenAI GPT-3, it's just, millions of dollars created on Azure. The good news is that, the trend is really a lot of those cloud services are creating pre-trained model. Then you can just, take advantage of the pre-trained model with 0 shot or few shots. You do not need to have a large amount of data, because the huge amount of data was already used to train this pre-trained model. Microsoft is similar. We have a special relationship with OpenAI. GPT-3 is a part of Microsoft AI strategy. And Microsoft Cognitive Services, like speech, vision, translation, they're all pre-trained with massive amount of data. And we also understand there's a limitation. Even with pre-trained model, you still need to adapt to a different domain. So customization is part of the offering. From day one, Microsoft Cognitive Services API, they do offer custom speech, custom vision, custom translate. So if you have your own data, you can upload to Microsoft Cloud. Microsoft will just customize on your behalf. And you still own the data. Microsoft doesn't, access your data at all. Microsoft will create an endpoint just for you. If you have your own company or application, that customization is protected with your own data. So there are tremendous opportunity. I would say, if you want to learn AI, create your own startup with an AI application that can really address a specific vertical area. That is really the tremendous opportunity, because that the last mile really determines the success. Azure AI is a platform, and we hope there are lots of companies and the services. I want to actually, cite a few examples. With the pandemic, COVID-19, CDC offered the chat services. That was powered by Azure Cognitive Services. So people, when they go to CDC, they ask COVID-19 related question, powered by Azure AI. In Italy, the country was really hit hard by COVID-19. So as early as in March, we deployed this speech services with the post office of the country, so people can call, get a lot of work done. That's powered by Azure AI. in the NHS of the United Kingdom. And this is their healthcare services. Azure AI was used to validate the patient with face recognition. Once again, powered by Azure AI. If you are not, taking the AP test, I think US College Board enabled the AP test from home. The OCR was powered by Azure AI as well. So even to fight the COVID-19, like the building, like social distancing, mask wearing, all those services in RXR, this is New York real estate management company, they already deployed this. So there's just tremendous opportunities for people to take advantage of the AI that you can really provide the services. It's a new era for young people. Hey, take advantage of programming skill. You understand there are so many opportunities using AI to extend humans' capability. Get your hands dirty, start playing with it. Do not just study the math. Math without coding is only half of the story. I think I'm over time.
All right, I think we'll just answer one last question.
One or two questions, yeah.
All right, so I think another person in the audience is asking what would be the killing app of AI in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you think is really the biggest, the application with the greatest potential?
I think the decision services will be the biggest potential if we can use AI to help everyone to make a better decision. For example, the business decision, how you can really identify anomaly and how to make better prediction. Those will be tremendous. Another one is really language understanding. I think natural language is the crown jewel of AI. Speech and vision will get better, but that is on the perception level. And truly understanding the language, it will be actually fundamental. Then once you can understand the language, you can read, you can acquire knowledge. And the AI can really do this 24/7 at a massive scale. And better than most of the people, because we need to go to bed and sleep. You cannot read 24/7. Once we have that ability to understand the language, to reason, to acquire knowledge, that is the biggest opportunity. But we're not there yet. So in practice, the perceptive AI is probably more realistic, whether it's autonomous driving, you need a vision, or speech, like a smart speaker you are most familiar with. And transcription services will provide foundational environment for you to really get a more language understanding done, because a lot of things are going on in the meeting, is in the ambient environment. So they're all exciting, and it will not be wrong. I think that, for your career, for young people, I would say AI is one, genomic science is another one. So those two combined will dominate the future. That's my bias.